Hi. Welcome. I've been told the acoustics in this room are really, really good, and since I'm Portuguese, I probably don't need a microphone, so that's a good thing. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Catherine Swabs, Vice Chair of PALCUS, and we'd like to thank you all for being here at our congressional reception. This reception has become a part of our outreach and government relations program, and we are thankful to Congressman Jim Costa, the co-chair of the Jim Costa.
Right here.
Of the Portuguese American, I was like, oh my goodness, you were right over there just a second ago. Of the Portuguese American Caucus for hosting us here this
I
evening.
staff for the senator of the delegation from
Yes.
Rhode Island.
Yes, exactly.
It does great work.
We're honored to have here some special guests, including His Excellency Domingos Fezes Vital, the Ambassador of Portugal to the U.S., as well as members of the Friends of Portugal in the U.S. Senate and the Portuguese American Caucus in the House of Representatives. The Portuguese American Caucus of the House of Representatives was established in 1995 with 38 congressmen, and it was founded by Congressman Patrick J. Kennedy from Rhode Island and co-chaired with Congressman Richard Pombo of California. Today, the Portuguese American Caucus in the House of Representatives is co-chaired by Jim Costa, David Cicilline, and Lee Zeldin. The Friends of Portugal in the U.S. Senate was created to serve as the parallel body of the Portuguese American Caucus in the House of Representatives in 1995. It was first co-chaired by Senator Ben Nighthorse Campbell from Colorado and Senator Jack Reed from Rhode Island. Senator Reed still co-chairs with Senator Patrick Toomey from Pennsylvania. And today there are Senate caucus members representing Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, California, and Pennsylvania. Some quick housekeeping. We would like to thank our sponsors for this evening. Anchor Construction is our lead sponsor, and he is joined by Potomac Concrete and Fort Myers. So thank you, Florentino Gregorio from Anchor Construction, and we are very grateful for your generosity. It allows us to continue to be a voice for the Portuguese American community with initiatives like this reception. I'd like to call up PALCUS Chair Angela Simoes to deliver her remarks and give everyone some insight on the new and current initiatives that PALCUS has been working on.
Thank you, Catherine. So would you believe us if we said that we actually had about 50 people RSVP'd for this event, and wouldn't you know it, the COVID crisis has had a severe impact. And it made me think of my mother, and growing up, I don't ever remember her being sick. And now as I got older, I realized why she never got sick. It's because she just refused to believe that she was sick. And she just was in complete denial because there was too much to do, and you just couldn't let a cold or anything get you down. And so unfortunately, we can't be that way with this, but thank you for those of you who did attend today. So I would like to welcome everyone to this annual congressional reception. We are honored to have you all here with us for this important event. It really helps us to maintain a strong engagement with the Portuguese American Caucus, the Friends of Portugal, and other key government influencers and community leaders on behalf of the Portuguese community. This reception, along with many other PALCUS initiatives, are designed to engage lawmakers and the community in conversation and action. PALCUS has accomplished much over the past few years, but there are a few key initiatives I'd like to highlight today. First, we've done a lot of research and data entry, thanks to Gracie, our program coordinator, to create the only repositories of national data about the Portuguese American community in the United States. So for example, we have a national database of elected and appointed officials who have internships, study abroad opportunities, scholarships, and schools who offer Portuguese language programs. We have a national database of all clubs and organizations, Portuguese organizations, in the United States. We do the national survey about what Portuguese Americans care about most, and it is the only survey of that kind. And we are building a database of who's who in the Portuguese community to better know the landscape of Portuguese in senior positions in all areas of industry. We are adding to and updating these databases every week. And again, thank you to Gracie for that. The bottom line is, if you want to know anything about the Portuguese American community, PALCUS is your source. And so we've worked very hard to do that, and a lot of that information is free resources to the community as well. We have completed our second PALCUS Index National Survey, the only national survey of the Portuguese community across the country, and results so far are consistent with the previous survey, that we have a very high voting rate, we have participated in political campaigns, And one of our biggest concerns is not having enough Portuguese Americans in public office at every level of government. This year we added questions about elder care, as that has become a major need in our community, not only for the elders, but for the children and grandchildren who are the caregivers. We will be forming a national consortium of organizations who deal with this on a daily basis at the local level, organizations like MAPS in Massachusetts or PALCUS in California, so that we can work together to effect change at the national level. We will be publishing the full results of the survey very soon, and we'll be sure that all of your offices get a copy. The Make Portuguese Count campaign for the U.S. Census is in its final phase, and this has been the most impactful and engaged campaign for our national Portuguese community. We have rallied 76 individual captains from 233 organizations to help spread the word about the census at 211 events, to be very specific. On social media, amongst friends and family, and we have created brochures, social media profile pic frames, ambassador videos, instructional videos to ensure that every American who identifies as Portuguese ancestry knows that they can and should write Portuguese as one of their ethnic origins. And she's not here, but I'd like to thank Marie Fraley, who stepped up to run to this campaign full-time. And it is because of her dedication and tireless efforts that this campaign has been as successful as it has been. Thank you, Marie, wherever you are, no doubt at a club, giving a presentation, doing something. I'd also like to thank João Francisco of Lunar Media for creating the amazing videos that have been instrumental in spreading the word throughout the community. And in fact, we have a sneak peek of his most recent work to show you tonight.
O censo 2020 está à porta. Nas próximas semanas, as quase 330 milhões de pessoas residentes nos Estados Unidos vão receber uma carta a explicar como podem responder aos censos. Participar no censo 2020 é muito importante. É a única forma de saber quantas pessoas vivem nos Estados Unidos e onde. Esta informação será utilizada para decisões como a alocação de fundos para escolas, serviços públicos, tais como polícia e bombeiros, e para infraestruturas. A comunidade luso-americana tem no censo 2020 uma oportunidade única de se identificar como portuguesa e ser contada oficialmente. A sua participação e da sua família é extremamente importante. Quando preencher o seu boletim, escreva Portuguese na pergunta sobre raça e origem, para que seja contado como português. Só podemos contar se formos contados. Junte-se a toda a comunidade portuguesa nos Estados Unidos e escreva Portuguese no censo 2020. Juntos, vamos Make Portuguese Count. Visite palcus.org para saber mais sobre a campanha Make Portuguese Count.
So this PSA will air on Portuguese TV, on RTP, on Seek,
And on the Portuguese
and all the Portuguese channel in New England. So, and we've done a full media blitz with this video and other materials. So beyond the census, the Make Portuguese Count effort will continue with messages to register and vote in our upcoming elections. Finally, one of our biggest initiatives this year will be to work with our partners in the Portuguese American Caucus and Friends of Portugal to get Star Talk funding reinstated for Portuguese language programs. The U.S. has named Portuguese a critical language for national security. The U.S. is in the process of applying for observer status of the CPLP. Portuguese is now the 4th most spoken language in the world and the 5th most used language online. So clearly, the U.S. understands the important role that Portuguese language plays not only nationally, but globally. So it doesn't make sense that it would be one of the languages to be cut from the program. So get ready to hear from us. Having an impact in these areas requires the full support of all members of the two groups, the caucus and the Friends, and we also need your help to strengthen these two groups with new members who represent districts and states with high populations of Portuguese in states such as Hawaii, Florida, California, New Jersey, as well as states with growing Portuguese populations such as Texas, Arizona, and Washington. We have our work cut out for us, but we are excited about these initiatives that will have a tremendous positive impact on our national community, and we look forward to working with all of you and your staff in the coming months. So thank you again for attending tonight, and thank you for all your efforts, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you.
trying times that we face not only here in our country but around the world. Today, the World Health Organization declared the coronavirus a worldwide pandemic. Today, the mayor of Washington, D.C. Declared a state of emergency for the District of Columbia. And we find ourselves in a world where we are dealing with issues that we've not had to deal with before. The country of Italy has virtually locked itself down in terms of the 60 million people, in terms of its ability to try to contain this virus. And I mention that because we're all here, and clearly reacting as this is evolving to the challenges that we face not only in our country but around the world. And Portuguese Americans, as well as Portuguese around the world, have always been extremely resourceful when it comes to challenges. It's part of our nature, it's part of our history. And I have no doubt that we will all collectively, not only in this country, but around the world, as the issue develops, do everything we can to ensure that we provide safety for the health of not only Americans, but people around the world. This reception that PALCUS has put together is part of a larger effort, as our two colleagues noted, Angela, and we thank you, Catherine. And the work that they've done, and I've looked at some of it, the research, is truly, I think, important for all of us who want to ensure that Portuguese count, right? Mm-hmm. And we know that we count, but every 10 years in the United States we do a census, and this is an opportunity to ensure that we count. And that's why that public service announcement is important. It's why this effort that PALCUS has taken on, as among many other priorities this year, is important that we all embrace it and that we support it, and we do everything we can, Catherine and Angela, to ensure that we spread the word throughout the Portuguese communities in this country. There are many other projects that you will see if you follow the PALCUS agenda that is a part of I think a very important priority list that reflects all of our mutual concerns and interests. And I know as a co-chair of the Portuguese caucus, we have embraced and support the priorities of PALCUS. I want to do everything we can in partnership with the Portuguese community, the Portuguese embassy here in the United States, and our ambassador who does such a terrific job. I always tease him, amigo, say, sua casa é minha casa, when I'm in the embassy or the ambassador's residence. It's not quite true, but I like to think it's a home that all of us share in pride and joy. It is a very important presence of the Portuguese government, not only in the United States, but a reflection of the importance that the Portuguese government places on Portuguese Americans here that have never, nunca forgotten our heritage, our culture, and our roots. So we share all of that in common. And we have 15 members of the Portuguese caucus in the House of Representatives. You noted the senators, Senator Jack Reed, Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, Senator Pat Toomey, and others who are very, very focused, not only on the Portuguese constituencies, but on working together. This year we've gotten the visa legislation out of the House. It's over in the Senate. We've got to get that as a part of a larger package. Both those of us in the Portuguese caucus, Senator Reid, I know, Senator Whitehouse are talking with the senators to make sure that happens. The ambassador is also focused on that as well, and we appreciate his efforts. So, in concluding, let me just say thank you to each and every one of you. We still have much work to do, as Angela has laid out in her agenda. And her agenda is, I think, our collective agenda. And so we are all partners in this effort, Catherine and Angela. And I can't thank you enough for the good work you do. We will, I believe, work through this pandemic called coronavirus. We have other challenges that we're facing among Western democracies that are as important as this virus. But what we have learned clearly in the last several months and in the last month is that this planet we live in, this global world that we are all a part of, is fragile, and it's interconnected, and it's interrelated. And what is different today than previous pandemics that we had historically in the last 100 years is the incredible smallness of our world in terms of our ability to move so rapidly and to see how the impacts can affect all of us. So I can guarantee you we'll continue to work on this. I think that it's my hope that with a great deal of challenges we will ultimately succeed, as we did with the Ebola crisis, as we did with the SARS crisis. There are elements to this that are different, that require efforts that we may not have envisioned before. So therefore, we are all in this together, and we must work together to ensure that we protect the health and safety not only of the people of our country, the people in Portugal and Europe, but around the world, because it reminds us how fragile we are and how much we must be together. So thank you, muito obrigado, meus amigos, and I'll continue to do the best I can with my colleagues as co-chairs of the Portuguese Caucus. Very proud of our heritage, of our culture, of where from we came, and we need to make sure that every Portuguese in America counts. Right?
Right.
Obrigado.
An integral part of that partnership in the last few years. It's my honor to invite him to the podium, the Ambassador to the Republic of Portugal, His Excellency Domingos Fezes Vital.
Well, I think that after Congressman Costa is always very difficult to speak, because everything that was to be said, he said it. But he started by saying that these are very trying times for all of us. I would say that these are all the more so for people like us, Portuguese, who love kissing and hugging. But anyway, well, this is a serious issue, and my appeal would be for all the community, please respect all the recommendations that we are getting. As far as we are concerned at the embassy, our consulates all over the United States, we will continue doing our best to continue serving our community while respecting the recommendations and orientations that we've got, guidelines that we've got, both from the American authorities and the Portuguese authorities. Well, but I couldn't miss the opportunity to thank PALCUS very much for the wonderful, wonderful job that you've been doing. And within that context, I couldn't underline enough the importance of the Make Portuguese Count campaign. I understand that the census will be starting tomorrow, so this couldn't be more timely, and my appeal couldn't be more timely for everybody to join this effort and to make sure that this effort counted for something as well. But the other thing that I would like to underline today is the importance of the second national convention that is going to be held, we will hope, in October in Florida. Another initiative of PALCUS that I'm sure will very much contribute to the self-esteem of our communities in the United States, and to make even more visible the role that it is now playing in the United States in all areas, all sectors, and including, of course, in the cultural sector. Congressman Costa underlined the importance of the Portuguese language. You did the same, Angela. We have the new exams in April. Please make sure that your sons, your grandsons, your daughters, your granddaughters will pass these exams and will take advantage of these exams in their accession to the universities and colleges all over the United States. But my final word is also to thank the Portuguese Caucus. In the Congress, in the House, the Friends of Portugal, they've been extraordinary allies for the 4.5 years that I've been having this wonderful country. And of course we have now this very important challenge, which is to make sure that the Amigos Act that already passed in the House has the same result in the Senate. So thank you very much. So I would, in concluding, once again, thank you very, very much, Angela, for everything you personally you've been doing, and for everything PALCUS has been doing to make my task much easier. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador Vital. I would like to just take a moment to also acknowledge PALCUS Director from Ohio and our Treasurer, Paul DeForno, who is on video duty doing live streaming through Facebook. And feel free to speak to him, Angela, or myself about any of the PALCUS projects that were spoken about here and the initiatives if you want more information. Again, on behalf of PALCUS, thank you for taking the time to join us here today, despite the circumstances. Please feel free to spend the remainder of the time discussing issues of importance to our community, and feel free to contact us at any time with your thoughts and suggestions. PALCUS.org is always open and answering emails at palcus@palcus.org. That's Grassi, our program coordinator, who will respond to all of your questions. Enjoy the remainder of the reception, enjoy some wine and some bites, some small bites. Thank you again for coming.
Thank you.